Hey good people, this is the first in a series of videos designed to help you with your MathXLs. A lot of people have been emailing me questions about various MathXLs, so I figured I'd make some of these videos for you to help you. Alright, well, if you want to use the calculator I'm using here, you can actually install it by going to this page, this web page here. This will allow you to install a trial version that will last for 90 days, at which point you can decide whether or not you want to buy it, the full version. This will work on a Windows or a Mac. You could also, instead of using it on a computer, you could download and install the program Wabbit EMU on an Android phone. And there is an iPhone option. A decent one is called Taculator. You could find that in the Apple Store. Taculator is a pretty good imitation of the TI-84. It has all the features, but in order to use some of the advanced features, it does make you pay like $3 to unlock the full version. Alright, well, we're going to get started. First question here is asking us to find the expected value of this data in the table. And we're going to go ahead and use the expected value of a discrete random variable formula, which is right here. So it says that we have to multiply each outcome by its associated probability and find the sum of all those products. So we're going to just type that in the calculator. The outcome 15 has a probability of 50%. The outcome 30 has a probability of 10% associated with it, and the outcome 45 has a probability of 40% associated with it. Hit enter, 28.5. So I'm going to go ahead and type 28.5. Oh, I already did that one earlier. Okay. So the next question is asking me to find the expected value of this data down here. Same idea. 1 has a probability of 40% associated with it. 3 has a probability of 30% associated with it. The outcome 5 has a probability of 20% associated with it. And the outcome 7 has a probability of 10% associated with it. The expected value is therefore 3. Check answer. Good job. Next question. Alright, this is asking me to do the exact same thing, find the expected value of each random variable. I'm going to skip that one since it's the exact same thing. Question 3. Find the expected average daily sales. Again, same thing. Multiply each outcome by their associated probabilities and add up. I'm going to skip this question since it's the exact same thing as the previous ones. I want to get to a new type of question. This is another expected value question. We have to use the expected value formula first to find the expected value, but then we're going to actually use this variance formula to find a standard deviation. This is multiple steps. It gets pretty messy. I'm going to actually write everything out. So, here is both formulas. We're going to use this one first to find the expected value. Then we're going to use this formula here to find the variance. So I have to actually find the expected value. $160 has a probability of 22%. 165 has a probability of 37%. 170 has a probability of 18%, and 175 has a probability of 9%. So our expected value is 164.3. We have to subtract each outcome from that expected value, finding how much it deviates from that, and square those deviations. That's what this is saying here. Find how much each outcome deviates from the expected value, and then square that, but then multiply each one of them by the associated probability. So I am going to write that all out. So it's 155 minus 164.3 squared times the probability, which is 0.14, plus 160 minus the expected value squared times the probability, which is 0.22, plus 165 minus the expected value of 164.3 squared times the probability of 0.37, plus 170 minus the expected value of 164.3 squared times the probability of it occurring, plus 175 minus the expected value of 164.3 squared times the probability of it occurring, 9%. And that will give me the variance. When I'm done doing that, I have to take the square root of that answer. You could type the square root in the beginning. I'm just going to do it at the end. So, parentheses, 155 minus 164.3 squared multiplied by 0.14. Okay, so I typed everything in. I'm going to hit enter, and I get 32.51. That's actually the variance of the discrete random variable. What I want is the standard deviation. So I actually have to take the square root of that result. So I'm just going to take the square root of that answer. And it says to round it to 2 decimal places, 5.70. Excellent. All right, next question. This is an expected value question. It's a word problem, so I will do this one. A small software company bids on 2 contracts. It anticipates a profit of $45,000 if it gets the larger contract and a profit of $25,000 if it gets the smaller contract. The company estimates that there is a 33% chance it will get the larger contract and a 61% chance it will get the smaller contract. If the company does not get either contract, it will neither gain nor lose money. Assuming the contracts will be awarded independently, what is the expected profit? So if they get the larger contract, they expect a profit of $45,000. So $45,000 is the profit associated with the larger contract. They have a 33% chance of getting the larger contract. So this is how much profit they get if they get the larger contract. This is the probability of that occurring. For the smaller contract, they anticipate a profit of $25,000, and that has a 61% chance of occurring. And we're just going to go ahead and use the expected value formula there to find the sum of those two products. $45,000 plus $25,000, which has a 61% chance of occurring. Now, they will get no profit or loss if they are not awarded either contract. Notice that 33 and 61 doesn't add up to 100. It adds up to 94. So there's a 6% chance of them not being awarded either contract, in which case they would not gain nor lose any money. So I could include that in this calculation if I want. I could say that there's a 6% chance of neither gaining or losing any money. I just put a profit of 0 there. That doesn't really change anything because that's going to be like adding 0 to this. So our expected profit is $30,100. All right. Next question. Did I go the right way? Nope. No, I didn't. This is find the standard deviations of each of these. So that's going to be a little bit of work. I'm just going to do the top one. We have to first use the expected value formula and then get that expected value and then plug it in to the variance formula. So expected value. We're going to find the product of each outcome and its associated probability. Got my expected value, 28.5, and now I have to plug that into my variance formula. So our one outcome, 15, we have to figure out how far that is from 28.5, find the squared deviation there, multiply that by the probability of it occurring, which was 50%, and then do our next outcome, 30 minus the expected value squared times the probability of occurring, 10%, plus our last outcome, 45 minus the expected value squared multiplied by the probability of occurring, 40%, and that should give us our variance, and our standard deviation would be the square root of that result. So I'm going to go ahead and type this into the calculator. 15 minus 28.5 squared times the probability plus 30 minus 28.5 squared times the probability plus 45 minus 28.5 squared times the probability, and this gives us 200.25. Again, that's not the standard deviation, that's the variance. We have to take the square root in order to get the standard deviation. 14.15, they want us to round it to one decimal place. 14.2, let's try that. Alright, well done. Another one. I'm not going to do this one down here. It's the same exact process that we just look at these numbers. Alrighty, let's keep moving forward here. Is there anything else that we should do? They're going to probably ask us to find both the expected value and the standard deviation. I will do this, I guess. So the expected value, each outcome multiplied by its associated probability, and add it up. $1.5. They would expect to receive 1.5 calls per hour. Standard deviation. The difference of each outcome and its expected value squared multiplied by the probability that is associated with it and added up. that's my variance. Standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So 1.02. Alright, next question. Find the mean or expected value. This one's asking us to find the mean. It's the exact same problem, really. So I'm going to do this last problem, and feel free to skip through these if you know how to do them. You don't have to watch the entire videos if you know what you're doing. This is just to help you if you get stuck along the way. Got my expected value for the mean. Standard deviation is going to take a little while, but I'm going to type it all out. Alright, found my variance, then I'm going to find my standard deviation. 1.29, so 1.3 if I round it to one decimal place. Alrighty. So, this should help you with the Chapter 15 MathXL. I hope you are doing well. I really miss all you guys, and I'm going to post some more videos for you, and we're going to get into some new work very soon. Alrighty. Thank you for watching.